Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm going to do a couple chess puzzles and take you through my train of thought. So with this puzzle here, it's black to move, and the only information that I really have is about this puzzle is that it allots you about 100 seconds on chess.com to try and figure it out. That has to do with a rating that you could acquire when you try and work these puzzles out. So that's some information to me concerning this problem. But beyond that, what is the best continuation? My first thought, and if you'd like to try to figure this out on your own, I would suggest you just go ahead and pause the video. I'm just going to go in and share my thoughts right away. So my very first thought is centered around this e5 square because it's a forcing move. So I'm really looking at forcing moves, queen check here, and additionally this bishop is unprotected. So I'm thinking after queen check, a move that is needed is something like the bishop blocking, and then what could be done? I'm not sure. Queen check, bishop to f4 to block, and then, well, actually you could just grab this knight. So I believe that this is just going to be it. That one's not too bad. I think that this is correct. If queen check and the queen blocks, well, right now she's currently restricted because she has to watch over this knight. This right here I view as unprotected as well as the bishop. Bishop, 0 attackers, 0 defenders. Right now, 1 attacker, 1 defender. I consider these two unprotected, so it seems pretty clear to me at least. And it is showing that this was the best move. There is a queen block, there is a bishop block, but I think however you slice it, there ends up being a piece won by black. So the move here is not to take the queen because the knight would recapture. So you just take the knight at that point, and that's pretty much it. So I don't think they're going to go any further. It's just considered at that point that the problem is solved. So that one wasn't too bad. Let me try just one more problem, and maybe it'll be a little bit more difficult. So, okay, whoa. Okay, we got 4 queens on the board. And in this position, it's white to move, and they're allotting 212 seconds to figure this out. So that's, again, just gives me some insight as to the difficulty level. So here's my first thought. My first thought is not what white can do, but rather what black can do. Even though I'm looking right now for the best move for white, I'm seeing that if given time, black could just end up giving checkmate. And so I believe that the first move, in other words, is going to have to be, the first move by white is going to have to be a very forcing move. So right away I'm just looking at all checking moves. Queen check here, but really it's this square that I'm thinking about more so than the g8 square. Squares that 2 or more pieces can go to, I'll often look at those squares first. So the queen could go here to give check. There's also knight here that could give check. And in total, there's only 3 checking moves, a knight check and a queen check to both of these squares. So let's see. If, I think after knight check here, I'm not so sure what the follow-up would be. I think it's actually queen to the corner. Queen to h8, and there's only one reply, bishop takes. And then I think knight check. I think queen check is to kick this bishop off of the 7th rank so that this queen could come in and eventually converge on this square right here, g7. So let me think a little bit more on this. I don't know that there's really going to be a better move. After knight check, pawn captures, I'm just not seeing it. The queen could give a check, but you could take with the king at that point, and then if there's a queen check here, you just come back up. I'm not so sure what the follow-up would be. So I believe the first move, in some sense you could kind of cheat with these puzzles to try and solve them, but I'm trying to see what the solution is instead of just going move by move. I'm pretty sure that this is the correct first move, but I want to be able to see it through. As if this was an actual game, you wouldn't be able to just go kind of move by move and know that it's going to work out. You don't have those sort of hints. So let's see. Queen check. Bishop takes is the only move. Knight g5 a check. Knight g5 check, that's the only move. Or excuse me, after the knight g5 check, what would be the options? There's a king move, but I believe queen here would just be mate. So the only other thing is to just take the knight, but after queen e7, if the king goes to g8, then there's another check followed by mate in the corner, and the other option is to actually come up to this h6 square. Again, being able to visualize that after queen check, king takes, or excuse me, after queen check, bishop takes, after knight check, this pawn captures, so then this square, this h6 square, is now available for the king. So we would have queen e7, king h6, and then the queen or the pawn could capture. I think I'm seeing the mate. The queen ends up on g4 giving mate. Let me see. Queen check, this is the last trial run here. Queen check, bishop takes queen, knight g5 check, pawn takes knight, queen to e7 check, king h6, pawn takes g5 with check, king to h5, and is there even a faster mate? I was thinking queen h7 because it's very forcing. Queen h7, king takes g5, queen then to h4, king to f5, and then queen to g4, and I believe that that would be mate, unless there's something faster. At least I'm seeing some mate, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, hopefully this is the this is the first move. Yes, okay, it is. Okay, so that is the first move. And now knight g5, that is also correct. Pawn takes, queen to e7 check, and oh, okay, so instead the computer is going in this direction, which I believe is just going to now run into a mate in 2. But again, if it went to h6, we'd have pawn takes. The computer is just kind of playing out all the different possibilities. Or I should say it's just choosing one of the possibilities. So now it's a mate in 2. The queen could go to any one of these 2 squares, followed by a mate in the corner, saying that that's correct. I don't know. I'm assuming it would also say that that is, or no, that isn't the best move. I was thinking d8 or e8, but if you go to d8, the king could have gone to f7. So that is the move, to go to e8 at that point, and then grab the bishop. So they're saying that the problem is solved right there. So just a little bit of insight with just these couple problems, and hopefully you can use that train of thought or implement some of those ideas when it comes to unprotected pieces like we saw in the first puzzle. And then in this second puzzle right here, when it comes to trying to find the best move for white, maybe it's better to first see what it is your opponent can do. In this case, what it is that black can be doing if given the opportunity to have a shot at your king. Is there a forcing move? In other words, what is the threat that your opponent can be having? These are some things to be thinking about, at least when you're trying to solve these puzzles. So that's all for this video. As always, I hope you got something out of it. Take care.